Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing and giving my first impression on the new L'Oreal Paris Infallible Matte Foundation. It's this little guy right here. I did pick this up because I've heard a lot of great things about this foundation, so I wanted to put it to the test and find out for myself. Also, you all know I'm an oily skin gal, so anything matte sounding is kind of more geared towards, my liking. And I last heard about this from Desi Perkins, so if you guys are familiar with YouTube, you probably already subscribe to her and watch her, but she actually gave like a little Instagram mini review of this, and she had a lot of good things to say about it, and I really trust her opinion on her product reviews. So it was just like one person that I do watch here on YouTube and that does a lot of product reviews that they said something positive about this, so that was enough for me to actually say, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. So it's a 1 fluid ounce standard size of foundation. It cost about $11 or so at the drugstore, a little bit more pricey than the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. It does come in somewhat good range of color selection. They probably could have a few more colors, but for what they have right now, I would say that it's about fair. I didn't get to really swatch this because they are sealed, which is a good thing, and I wouldn't have swatched it either way because that's gross and I wouldn't want to ruin the product for anyone else. I did try to look on the Temptalia foundation matrix to see if I could somehow find my shade through my Bobbi Brown Long Wear Even finish, but for some reason L'Oreal foundations weren't on there, so yeah, I was kind of surprised. So I just kind of guessed it. I got the shade Natural Buff, and I have to say that I actually really do like the color so far. I am already wearing it, so before we go into the application, I just wanted to go over a few short little facts about it. It does claim to be 24 hours as well. I wouldn't keep my foundation on for that long, so I'm not going to test it for 24 hours, but we're going to see how it lasts for a full day. And also, it's not claiming to be a super matte finish. It is a demi matte. So I like that a lot because I don't want something or I don't really care for products that are too drying. Even though I am oily, I don't want to look flat. And it actually does say that on the back here. It says never dull, never flat. So I have to say that really just kind of drew my attention to it. It's in a nice little squeeze bottle. Actually, I've never had a foundation like this where it's nice and flat. So I do like it because I feel like it's kind of travel friendly since it's very slim and sleek. So that's another thing that I really enjoy. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the quick little overview of this product. Oh, one more thing. It does say oil control on the back, so another good thing that I am actually kind of looking forward to see if it really does hold up to that claim. But yeah, so let's go into the application and then we'll take it from there. So I'm first going to just pull my hair out of my face. By the way, you guys, I'm going blonde. Yes. That's what's different here, in case you're wondering. And if you're not wondering, then totally dismiss this. You don't care. But yeah, my best friend is a hairdresser, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, so we kind of just took the plunge, and I gotta say, I am loving it so much. And I cannot wait to go lighter. When they say that you start to go lighter on your hair, it is like no joke that it's addicting. So I would like to hopefully get to a point where like I'm pretty much this color all over and maybe a little bit lighter. But yeah, my best friend is super awesome and she's just super talented. I'll link her Instagram down below so you can go check her out, but she did an amazing job and I absolutely love the color. It's like a nice honey blonde. I don't know, what do you guys think? Or how many of you out there have been brunettes and you just made the transition? Because naturally I have dark hair, so I don't know, I could use as many tips and stuff about going lighter as I can possibly take right now. So before I apply this foundation, I am going to be priming my face. You guys know I'm a big believer in face primers. I don't ever wear foundation really without one. And if for some reason I'm not going to be wearing a primer, then I'm definitely using a really good moisturizer underneath. Because I like to have a lot of different things between my skin and a foundation, so a primer is one of those. And if, like I said, I don't have a primer for some reason, which is really odd for me, but if I don't, then I will definitely use just a good moisturizer. So I'm going to be taking my Maron Velvet Finish Primer, and I'm just going to be really smoothing this out. You guys know I love this primer. So I'm going to be applying this foundation using my Bobbi Brown Full Coverage Face Brush. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you know this is pretty much my go-to brush for any foundation. I like to try out the foundations first with this brush, and then I'll play around with some other brushes, but I feel like that's always my safest bet whenever I'm trying out a new foundation, is to just try it with that brush first. Okay, first off, just one little complaint. It's probably not that big of a deal because it's been sitting. I squeezed it right now and it came out like there's like water or oil or something. I don't know about that, but okay, I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a shake first. It has an interesting texture right away, I can tell you that. So yeah, let's see. I'm just gonna dot it on my face like usual. Again, you guys, I was not able to swatch this color. I'm wearing a white shirt today, so I'm like being uber cautious to not get it dirty. I'm just gonna start spreading it around. It doesn't have a scent to it, really. No scent at all. Interesting. I'll tell you this, it feels a lot more lightweight compared to the Maybelline Matte and Poreless one. So if you kind of want to use that as a comparison to base off of, that's what I can tell you right off the bat. I really like the coverage of this so far because it's not super full coverage. Like, I'm not going to say it's as heavy as maybe like the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo foundation. It's certainly buildable though, and I will say it is like a true medium coverage foundation. So definitely a second layer is going to give you that nice full coverage look. By the way, if you guys have tried the Clinique, their new foundation, it's like a foundation and concealer in one. That one is ultra full coverage. So if you've tried that one and you want to compare it to that, this one is not as full coverage as that one. That one you really just need like one layer and you're so good to go. It's amazing. I like this feel of this foundation. It feels so lightweight. Oh, by the way, this is the first L'Oreal foundation that I'm trying out too. So this is kind of going to set the bar for the brand for me as far as foundation wise. Okay, so what I can tell you right now is that this foundation is not settling into any kind of lines or pores. It looks like very soft. The coverage is really good. I like this because I feel like even though it's not super full coverage at first, you are still able to have playroom with concealer. So, and you know me, I highlight every day. And if I'm not cream contouring, I still powder contour every day. So for me, that's a big issue because I feel like if something is too heavy at first, it makes the application of other products a little bit tougher. So I like that this gives you room to play. Note though, I did not conceal under my eyes and I did not put this foundation under my eyes because I don't wear foundation under my eyes. I do my concealer and my corrector. So don't look at that as far as if you want coverage. But I will say though, I am someone that's very red on my cheeks and right here on the center of my forehead. And I like that it's covered that up. The color is actually a pretty good match for me. I feel like it's actually really good. But yeah, so actually right now, right off the bat, I will say that I like this foundation. It's okay. You know, if you're looking for something very full coverage, like I said, if you're used to the Kat Von D foundation or you've tried that new Clinique one that has foundation concealer combined, this is not going to be as full coverage as that. But I will say that the finish is the same. Kat Von D's a little bit more matte, but this is actually very similar to the finish of that Clinique foundation. So I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so I just finished putting on the rest of my makeup and let's see. As far as I can tell, my makeup pretty much went on the same way as far as like my concealer and my blush and all of that good stuff. So I don't really feel like it altered anything else within the products that I use. So that's a good thing. I still like the finish of it. I was waiting to see like as I was doing the rest of my makeup if it was going to oxidize a little bit. And actually I had just posted something on Instagram that I was actually trying out this foundation. And one of my followers asked if what to do with foundations that oxidize, if there's any kind of like tips or tricks to help with oxidation. Oxidation, is that the word? And honestly, I mean, it's not uncommon for some foundations to oxidize, but it really doesn't have much to do with the foundation itself. Because I've noticed that some foundations oxidize on some people and it doesn't on others. So it's really just about your skin and your body and your pH levels and all that. So if you're somebody that you find that frequently liquid foundations are oxidizing on you, it's not so much the product, it's your body. So tips for that would be get a shade lighter in your foundation and see if that one oxidizes to at least your level. So unfortunately there aren't too many quick fixes for that. Okay, so right now it is actually going to be 4 o'clock. It's 3:52. I did not have anything to do this morning, so don't judge me for putting on my makeup so late in the day. But I'm actually going to go out and run some errands right now. And like I said, in my last foundation review, I really want to see how well this holds up for like an average work day. So yes, I am going to be keeping it on for about maybe 8 hours, and I will be checking in with you guys at different marks to see how it's been holding up, you know, how well it stayed matte, or if I had to blot or anything. So yeah, but right now, I mean, everything looks really good. So I'll bring you guys in closer so you can see a more close-up look. This is so close. Okay, so as you can tell, one thing though, I mean, this is definitely a foundation geared for a oilier skin type, because I did have some breakouts like right here and right here, and now that they're healing, obviously the skin on top is a little bit dry, and you can just see where the foundation is kind of clinging a little bit to a drier area. So that would be the only thing. So if you're a drier skin type, I would not recommend this foundation, and if you have any dry zones, definitely you want to exfoliate before you wear this. So okay, yeah, I'll check in with you guys later to see how it's all holding up, and we'll see. Hey guys, so I'm now checking in. I wanted to do a check-in at around the 2-hour mark, but I didn't get a chance to. But I will tell you that at 2 hours, I still didn't have any oil pushing through and absolutely no shine. So I thought that was really impressive. But right now it is actually 9:15, and so it has been a while. This has been already about maybe 5 hours of wear. So like I said, I do want to give this a full 8 hours to show you how it would work in a typical working day for the average person. So I am going to leave this on until the remainder of the length, and then I will check back in with you. But as of right now, what I can tell you is that now finally you can see some shine on me. It wasn't up until about maybe an hour ago that I was actually able to see some shine pushing through. So at about the 5-hour mark, you're going to want to blot or powder your nose. So I'm actually going to do that really quickly. Okay, and we're pretty much back to being good as new. So I'm going to carry on for the rest of the evening, and then I will check back in with you at the 8-hour mark, and we can give my total roundup of how this lasted throughout a full day. Okay guys, so we are at my last check-in finally. Oh my god, I'm like so dying to take off my makeup right now. It is 12:05. Yeah. So that gives us a full 8 hours of wear, and right now, I'm sure y'all can tell because the camera seems to be picking up pretty well, the amount of oiliness I had the last check-in. I feel so tired, I don't know why. It's pretty much the same again. So in conclusion, the best way that I can put this for you is that if you're an extremely dry person, I would say that this may be an iffy foundation for you, because just depending, I mean, you can be dehydrated, but you're not going to have any maybe dry patches. And if that's the case, this could possibly work for you, just maybe depending on the moisturizer you use prior to its use. But if you're the type of person that has dry or chapped skin, maybe like around your nose area, that's especially common for those of you living more up north, and maybe the cold is still very prominent and it's maybe making you get a little chapped on the cheeks or maybe on the nose, and you have little dry patches, and if you don't microderm, then maybe it could possibly cling to you, because about the first 5 hours, like I mentioned before, it was a very solid matte wear, or demi matte wear I should say. I mean, it didn't look completely dry, but there was absolutely no kind of dewiness to it. So when the foundation is more of that dry finish, it could possibly cling, which doesn't look the best. That's my only concern if you're a dry skin type. Now, for the other oily girls out there, like your homegirl right here, I think if you're a combination skin type, this is going to last longer on you without any shine, like the shine I have right now. It'll probably definitely last. If you're just more of that person that's oily, like just in the T-zone or like just on your nose or something, this is probably going to be excellent for you and give you like that foolproof wear. Now, for someone like me, and I am excessively oily, and for those of you who have been around my channel long enough, you guys know that, then obviously now you can see that pretty much everywhere on my face, the shine has pushed through. My natural oils come out after so much length of time between first application and first blotting or first powder. That is something that I am not familiar with. I'm pretty comfortable with that already, but as long as the foundation doesn't go on patchy, it gives a decent coverage. And if it is a foundation that does claim to have a matteness to it, then as long as within the first 5 hours, you know, or so, as long as it's not within the first 2 hours, if about 2 hours in I'm already seeing oil come through or I'm looking kind of wet, then that's when I feel like the foundation did not hold up to its claim very well, or maybe there's something in it that's not jiving with maybe my primer or my skincare. I do think it is a very great alternative for a drugstore foundation as compared to a high-end matte foundation. So I think it does hold up pretty well. Now just keep in mind this was just 1 day of use. So of course I'm going to try it out for a couple more days and see exactly how it works with my skin over time, because that's another big issue, is it may be having some kind of reaction, or maybe I'm going to break out or something like that. But like I've mentioned before, I'm not a very sensitive skin person, so it doesn't really bother my skin when I do use drugstore products. So it's very, very rare, but the possibility is still there. So I'll probably give another mini update and review on my Instagram or something. So make sure to be following me. I always list my social media stuff down below and in the corner here. I give this foundation a 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. Because I'm not like totally mind blown, but at the same time, I'm not happy with it. I mean, I am happy with it. So as far as this foundation goes, I guess we're going to see if it ends up in an empties video or a favorites video. And if it's in a favorites video, then you got to know that there was probably something about it that I ended up really loving. But yeah, like I said, I'll give a more fuller in-depth review on probably my blog later on about how it wore for the rest, or for a couple more days. So just keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. So bye.